everyone, I'm Rishika Jain and you're watching Let's Get Real, presented by the Media Innovation Club, Christ University, Delhi NCR. This show is all about meaningful conversations with leaders that shape ideas, industry and public thinking. Today, I'm honored to host Mr. Sharad Gupta, a senior journalist with over 3 decades of experience. Mr. Gupta has worked in major media houses like the Indian Express, Hindustan Times, Dainik Bhaskar and Amar Ujala. He is the founder of Indian Masterminds, a platform that focuses on stories from Indian bureaucracy, stories that we rarely see on Indian mainstream media. Thank you so much for joining me today, sir. It's a privilege to have you here with us today. Sir, I would like to start by asking that, sir, you've had a background in science. You've done your master's in zoology. So, how did your interest gather in journalism? Like, why did you choose this field?
Since my childhood, I was interested in literature. But in our days, there used to be a lot of parental pressure. My father was a doctor. He wanted me to be a doctor. So I somehow qualified for Ayurveda, homeopathy, dentistry, veterinary, but not for allopathy. And then I tried to pursue my MSc in zoology with a specialization in cytogenetics. I wanted to be a scientist. And since I was very much interested in journalism, since childhood I was interested in literature. I used to read a lot of stories, a lot of books. That's how I got interested in journalism. And I got selected in Times of India when I was just 21. All my colleagues used to tell me, why have you come to journalism? You are going to regret it. But I was convinced about my choice. I wanted to be a journalist and I became one. I started with a reporter and gradually I became an editor. So I have no regrets. Means I joined in 87 and in 2 years I will be completing 40 years in journalism.
That's really impressionable, sir. So, I just wanted to ask, you started Indian Masterminds in the mid to 2020s when around 300 media houses were being downsized due to the pandemic. So, what actually convinced you to raise a platform solely focused on bureaucracy? Because this is not something that we usually see in mainstream media.
Basically, bureaucrats are taught to shy away from media. They are told that they have to work behind the scenes. The impression is that bureaucrats are lethargic, indecisive and corrupt. Because of all these images, perceptions that they are corrupt, so politicians are also corrupt. So why blame bureaucrats only? And since there are honest ones, hardworking ones, I had seen from my own eyes that I had experienced also that there are bureaucrats who really work hard, who are very honest. So that was the reason that me and my colleague, Prabhakar Singh, so he came up with this idea. He said, shall we raise some platform for the bureaucracy and governance? And I liked the idea and then somehow we started and 5.5 years down the line, here we are.
So I would also like to ask that you've almost started around 40 years back. So how has the landscape of Indian journalism changed since then?
There used to be very few media houses. In English, there was Times of India, Hindustan Times and Indian Express. And we used to work on typewriters. I was just 21 and it was very difficult for me to press use all 10 fingers to press all those iron steel typewriters. So I used to type with one hand. Then landscape changed, computers came, then laptops, then notebooks, and now the world has changed and everything is now in a mobile. We used to use dictaphones to record an interview. Okay. Besides, we also used to write it in longhand while the person is speaking. But now everything is confined in a mobile. It has your camera, it has a recorder, everything. Now there is with this speech to text facility, you don't even have to write. You just have to speak and it will get written. So things are becoming easier, but they are becoming difficult also because the competition has proliferated many times, many folds. So Now, as I said, everybody is a journalist now. So you don't have to compete only among your media houses, but also with common man, because they are much faster, and everybody is so aware. They catch your mistake immediately, they flag it off, and they shame you on social media. So you have to be very, very careful about what you are saying or writing.
True. So, over all of these years, so what is that one story about bureaucrats or any beat that you've covered that has stuck by you, maybe because of its impact or the difference that it has made?
One of my stories, initial stories, was about the then Chief Minister, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, who had stopped uh, promotion of the district judge of Faizabad, who had ordered unlocking of Babri Masjid. And that's how the Ram Janmabhoomi thing started, and that idols were kept there. So Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav had a vote bank among the minorities, and he thought the judge who had got the locks opened, if he is promoted, so Mr. Mulayam Singh's constituency among the minorities will get diminished. So he had stopped the promotion, and that since I wrote about it, and it went to the courts, the matter went to the courts, it was debated in the courts, and ultimately the judge was granted promotion again.
I also wanted to ask that with digital headlines now running 24/7, do you think that depth and verification has somewhat been compromised in favor of speed?
Of course, as I said, since most of the things are coming from social media, and now with the introduction of AI and technology, reality is getting blurred with imaginations. So you never know whatever you are seeing, is that true or through AI. And a lot of things which come out in media, and then media retracts it because it finds out later that it was not fact. The fact checking is an industry now because of this. Even the newspapers have got a section called fact checking. Media websites have a section called fact checking. So because facts are getting distorted, that's why.
Nice, sir. Sir, then do you believe that niche platforms like yours, they might outgrow traditional newsrooms in that sense?
As you see, newspapers, media houses, they are getting actually outdated. As I told you, everything is on social media. So niche media still has some space. Somebody is covering, suppose, medicine, ailments, that's a niche. Somebody is covering, say, sports. So niche products are going to grow because there is less competition there. Like in my space, there are hardly 3 or 4 publications which are doing the kind of work we are doing, but very less known, and that's how there is much more scope to grow.
I agree, sir. Sir, you've also led major bureaus like the Indian Express, Amar Ujala, Dainik Bhaskar. What are the top 3 skills you think that students might not learn in classrooms, but it might help them immensely when they get into the industry?
They were traditional skills, and I think those traditional skills are still relevant. First is reading. Children don't tend to read now, they tend to watch. So until unless you read, so your knowledge will not grow. It remains superficial. That's essential part of journalism. So reading is skill is still needed. Research, and third thing is what you are doing, going to people and asking right questions. The basics of journalism is ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you will not get answers. You will not get facts out of people. So these are again the skills that were relevant 40 years back. They are still relevant. I think they are going to remain relevant 40 years down the line also.
Sir, for students only, so you started your career back then, but now since you've covered so many beats, if you were starting your career in 2025, which beat would you choose and why?
Environment is still a very hot topic, and it will remain so. say 10 or 20 years down the line, because the environment is deteriorating with every passing day, and the entire world is engrossed with that. So that is one thing. Second, I like to think about economy, because economy and politics, they are now synonyms. Without economy there is no politics, and without politics there is no economy. So economy is second thing, which, because major policies are all about economy. So economy is involved in every sphere of our life, and it's not going to go away. So these are the two things I think I would have liked to cover right now.
Sir, thank you for sharing your experiences with us today. I think that conversations like these genuinely help students understand a lot better, and it also helps them focus on things that truly matter. To everyone watching, thank you for joining us. This is Let's Get Real, presented by the Media Innovation Club. I'm Rishika Jain, and we'll see you in the next episode.